The following broadcast may contain explicit language and adult themes. Viewer discretion is advised. The opinions expressed in this broadcast are those of the hosts, talent, and guests, and do not reflect the opinions, views, and standards of Pyromedia Enterprises, affiliates, subsidiaries, or its members.
Oh, my Lord, 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 Lord. Come on, y'all. My Lord, 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 Lord. Dear Father, we want to thank you for this little show, the Daryl Walter Show. If you get my reference, you get my reference. I feel like some of you may be too young. But welcome, everybody, to the Daryl Walter Show. I am your host, your brother, your cousin, your friend, your curator of a messy experience for the next hour. Welcome, everybody. Listen, it is March. It is Women's History Month. And all month long, hey, Brianna, what's going on? Hey, Introverted Life. Welcome, everybody. Make sure you click like and share because this show is going to be phenomenal, y'all. It is Women's History Month, and all month long, I've had the opportunity to interview and speak with some amazing women who are making history in their own lane. That's right, everybody. So make sure you share this. I got to interview, Maya B, the first openly LGBT artist on Sunday's Best, the last season, which was interesting. I have my opinions about that, but Maya B, she's amazing. I got to interview, Tamara Walker, singer extraordinaire. She's background singer for Shaka Khan, Gladys Knight, an amazing story. And also I interviewed Owana Brown, bikini fitness model, 3-time cancer survivor. And today is no different. I will be interviewing my girl, my favorite TikToker, Catrice, an amazing author, entrepreneur, I want to say philanthropist, evangelist. Y'all, let me tell you a little bit about her because she's amazing. She's been featured on multiple radio interviews. She's an author, motivational speaker, media personality, thousands of views on YouTube. And also, she is affectionately known by her YouTuber subscribers as Cocktails, where she serves the host of Cocktail Hour with Catrice. She's authored several publications, including Triumph Over Adversity. Thank you, the skin is glowing. And Overcome Your Church Hurts, which documents her process throughout ministry and testimony of deliverance. She's also an ordained evangelist. And the way she talks, y'all, I bet she could preach the house down. Hold on, let me fix my headphones. While I'm doing that, y'all, welcome to the Daryl Walter Show. My sister in my head, Catrice Cocktails. Welcome. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm so excited to have you on the show. One, I follow you, so I can't believe you said yes because a lot of content creators, have different spirits. But you have been, you know what I'm talking about. But
yes.
I want to thank you for coming on the show. For people who don't know on my platform or out there, who is Catrice?
Well, you pretty much said it in your intro. And first of all, thank you for having me. You know what? I am just a woman who likes to spread the good news, but also to fight for the underdog. And that's what I mostly do on my platform. I'm a self-published author of my book Triumph Over Adversity, which documents my 10-year tenure in the ministry and all that jazz. And but I mostly share, my love for the Lord, but also bringing things into perspective of real life and modern day for the church and talking about these preachers. Okay, we just got to keep it 100. So that's pretty much what I do and who I am, in a nutshell. And a sister, an auntie, a wonderful auntie, and I have I'm a niece pup named Madison. So no kids, just a niece pup named Madison.
Who's the niece pup? Is that one
My
of your
sister's
sisters?
dog. Yeah,
Hey, niece pup. What's the niece pup's name?
Madison.
Hey, Madison. If you're
Yeah,
watching out there, shout out to Madison. Um,
she's always watching. She side eyes me, but she's watching.
One of the things I want to talk to you about is you kind of grazed over it, but you are an author of
Mhm.
a book where you basically document your experience with church and
Mhm.
getting through church hurt.
Yeah,
I think one of the things we have in common is that we've seen behind the veil, if you will, of what really
yeah,
goes on in church.
yeah.
Um, I really want to know, how did you one, how did you experience church hurt, and
Mhm.
how did you get over it to the other side where you still love the Lord, where you still go to church? Because a lot of people don't get to that side.
Yeah. So I technically don't go to church right now. It's
Okay.
still taking some time to walk back to the four walls. I will catch it online, of course, like a lot of us. What was your first question? You said what happened with the church hurt?
Yeah, like how did you go through it, and how did you get to the other side?
So my situation was kind of strange because I was a part of like the Armor Bearer ministry, women's ministry, singles, and all of that. How I went through it was at first it was just depression. It was definitely a disbanding from my spiritual family, which for a lot of us becomes your surrogate family.
Mhm.
And so I definitely went into a very dark place. It happened around the time that my mother passed away, so that was very challenging for me, but I will say the support of my family, my friends, and a lot of prayer really got me through it. But writing actually got me through it as well. But the writing didn't come until I started broadcasting, believe it or not, on Periscope. And
Okay.
I initially started to talk about relationships, but then like the Holy Spirit would just come into the broadcast, and I'm like, okay, this is not what I signed up for, Jesus. I'm just here to talk about Black love. But it just turned into something that was bigger than myself. And my subscribers were like, you need to write this out. And so it was because of them that the book actually came to fruition.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel one of the reasons I'm excited to have you on, one, I wanted to highlight women for the month of March,
Hmm.
but also I believe in the church. How can I say? I want to say this. I'm gonna just say it.
Say it the
Um,
Daryl way. Okay.
I'll say it the Dare way. I heard somebody say it. The church is not safe for the gays and women.
Yeah. Yeah.
Women, and in particular because it's Women's History Month, and I know that a lot of women are watching. I know that
Yeah.
a lot of women share your story in the church hurt. And what's interesting is, and you can help me out with this.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of women share the same story of church hurt in regards to sexual harassment, or some sort of relationship, or some sort of inappropriate relationship, or being hated on by the first lady. Am I fair in
Oh.
that statement?
You are fair in that statement because I think if we're talking about all denominations across the board, that's happened to a lot of women. That wasn't my particular situation, but I have seen that firsthand. So not the first lady. Well, can't say that either, but I have seen a lot of that firsthand. So you're definitely correct in your breakdown.
What
Yeah.
was your particular situation?
My particular situation, I really think that in my book I talked about it as well. Part of it, I believe that God wanted to bring me to a different place, and so a lot of things that I was saying and doing kind of backfired. But I was actually blamed for something that I did not do. It was like about a major betrayal. And I was like this with the first family. So it just really broke us apart. We're still not in a good place, unfortunately. Hopefully one day God will bring us to at least a happy medium, but right now we're not talking. But it was just a betrayal. Someone lied on me, and they never brought it to they never came to me with it, but they basically went out and told all of my colleagues and things, and my bishop, the same story. So yeah, lots of lies and deception.
Here's my thing. I feel like a lot of times in church, those who are the victims, and I would say that you were victimized in the situation, allegedly. Let me say that.
Right.
But I feel like the victims protect the church.
Yeah, we do.
What got you from the side of protecting the church to cocktails with Catrice and just telling it like it all the way is? Because that's a big move.
Well, technically, I've always been this way. Even when I was a little girl, my mother would say, "Shut up, Catrice," because I would always just ask those questions. If you ask any family member or friend, they're going to say, "Listen, don't ask her unless you want the truth. Don't ask her nothing." Okay. And so, but I guess bringing it this way would be the Periscope portion, and getting comfortable with telling my story via that platform and then bringing it to YouTube, but also seeing what was going on in the church. And my biggest situation was the alleged David E. Taylor situation that still has garnered over 50,000 views, probably 60 at this point, on YouTube, but just giving my point of view and then logging off. So yeah, I would say that, that's really what has got me to this point, but I've always been this way. Present day, had to have a conversation with my sister about some things this morning. So I'm just always this person, always.
Do you feel like that's been something people have used against you or weaponized against you in terms of the church and ministry?
I think, I don't know, I never thought about it that way. So I think that one reason why they never asked me, was it me or not, was because they knew I would tell the truth and they didn't want to hear the truth, especially from the person that told the lie, alleged. Well, for me, it happened to me. For the person that told the lie. So I don't think they really wanted to know the truth because they knew I would say it how it was. So yeah, I think it did backfire to some degree, but it's their loss. My church is a little bit larger than theirs at this point, so I'm praising God for that. I got 2,000 strong. Praise the Lord.
Hashtag petty. Hashtag winning.
My membership is pretty large right now compared to some people.
Okay. All right. I'm about to get a little heavy, just a little bit.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Do you still feel you're called by God?
I do. And that was a hard pill to swallow.
Okay, let's talk about it.
It was a hard pill to swallow. Because I think, especially over this last year, concerning a lot of the stories that I have done about the women that are going in, the women that I've been discussing, and the mothers that I've been discussing on my channel. It is a form of ministry, and my subscribers remind me of that every single time I go live. It's not something I wanted to admit, but it is a ministry in its own right.
When did you realize it was a ministry?
When they told me, because I wasn't trying to hear it. I was like, I said, no, we're not doing that. Praise the Lord. Love y'all. And they said, Catrice, this is your ministry. I mean, I have one subscriber that calls me and says, girl, this is your ministry. God put you here for this reason. And they had to make sure that you were in Maryland and we are over there. So I had to just accept it for what it is.
Do you come from a church? Like, is everybody churchy in your family? Like, do you come from that? Is everybody a preacher, bishop type thing?
No.
Or are you the Lone Ranger kind of type deal?
I do have an aunt that is a minister. My cousin is a minister, but I don't come from a long line of ministers, no. I would probably be the third person, realistically, in ministry or in my form of ministry. But when I was ordained, I was definitely the third person. Yeah. On my mother's side. My father's side, there are no ministers there.
Yeah. Brianna said it best, and I totally agree with her. People would rather believe the lie than the truth. It's their
Yeah.
comfort zone. God forbid we hold sister so and so accountable. And you know what's so interesting about that? Because it's in the church that they feel comfortable in the lie. So, what does that say about the church?
Right. Well, that's sometimes in the okay, let's go there. A lot of times I realized, and I said this before on my channel, the Black church, in my opinion, has single-handedly adopted the Black family value. Don't ask, don't tell. We want to believe what we want to believe, and that's it. And that's their right to do. But at what cost to the souls that are in the church trying to be saved and live for God?
Yeah.
That's where we start having a challenge. When your bishop is messing around, call that bishop out, sit that bishop down. That deacon is doing something, a deaconess, same situation. We got to hold everyone accountable. But they would rather, shun you, especially, let's be honest, sometimes most of the women, because the church is filled up with women and the gays.
And the gays, come on now.
And the women will like to protect that male pastor.
Yes.
Okay.
And the gays
to make
too.
sure that because they still want him to lead them even in his mess. I said what I said. I said exactly what I said. They would rather lead. They want you to lead him. They want him to lead you in your mess.
Is that why Jamal Harrison Bryan is such a great leader?
Yes. Well, okay. Jamal Harrison Bryan is such a great leader because his father is a bishop. And his mother is she's an amazing intercessor, by the way. But the father, basically, during one of their meetings and conferences, they tried to not sit him down. Yeah, sip that tea, baby. The father begged them to keep him in the AME organization. I said what I said.
You know what? I'm gonna say this, and we probably gonna go to commercial break. I thought I had more questions, but you just shut it down. Jamal Harrison, two people who I feel are untouchable.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Jamal Harrison Bryant and Keon Henderson.
Oh, honey, it's one more besides that one.
Who's the third? Let's make it a trinity.
TD Jakes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Listen.
TD Jakes.
Listen. We're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we are going to flow in the ministry of Sister Catrice. Now, Catrice, I know you focus on the church, but we got some stuff out here in the secular world. I'm going to walk you through, y'all. Sit tight. We're going to talk about Takashi. Hold on, what's the baby's name? Takashi 6ix9ine. We're going to talk about Tasha K. That's why I got tongue-tied. We're going to talk about Tasha K. We're going to talk about Takashi 6ix9ine. We're going to talk about Candy and Tamar. We're going to talk about Cora. Ooh, we're going to talk about Cora. Lord.
I'm ready. Look, I'm ready for that conversation. I don't know if they're ready, though.
Just grab a snack, and you know what I'll see y'all in a minute. We'll be back. All right, y'all. We are back. Welcome back to the Daryl Walter Show. As Catrice said, this is her ministry. Right? No, somebody told her it's her ministry. But y'all, we're gonna talk about what
Right.
went viral, and I want to know your thoughts and opinions on each one. Kwame,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna change it up. Or can I change it up a little bit? Let's go to 6ix9ine first. Takashi 6ix9ine. Cause I keep he's in my spirit first. Now this
Yeah,
baby
poor
got beat
baby.
up real bad. He got
Poor
beat up
baby.
real. Now he was beaten up by a group of men inside a South Florida gym. He was by himself apparently, and then they 3 or 4 men came in and just mollywopped him. If you out there, you probably saw the video already. His attorney said he has injuries to his jaw, his back, and his ribs. He had cuts to his face and bruises. Employees heard the disturbance and the perpetrators fled. Now, now let's go a little step further because allegedly last December, 6ix9ine was banned from a high-end apartment. Okay, he was banned from there, and also allegedly he was jumped at some nightclub before,
Mm.
and he was banned from the high-end apartment building. Basically, the apartment building said, "Listen, you got too much around you, you got too much heat. You just we don't want to be bothered with it." Now, I will say this: a couple of things. Has anybody heard his music? Because I have yet to hear a
I
song.
have. I have
Okay,
heard. I have heard a couple little tunes. I have just, but that's like two. You know what I mean? I don't really know him like that, but I do know that this baby don't value his life. He don't. He just wants to get up out of here. That's all I got.
at first I was like, snitches get stitches,
Yeah.
which listen, I'm gonna get a stitch because if you get me in trouble and it's between, I'm snitching. Okay, let me just don't invite me nowhere. Don't do nothing illegal around me, baby, because I
You
you
gonna tell? You gonna
all of
tell?
it, all of it, all. I'm not that. I'm not that gangster. I don't
Yeah.
have it in me. But
Oh yeah.
I think I didn't want to believe it, but I'm just gonna call cap. You snitched. You know you got all this money. Why are you walking around by yourself?
He don't value his life. He don't. And I mean, I don't really know the whole situation. I did see a couple of little slides on the shade room. Listen, all I know is I didn't look at the whole video. I couldn't stomach it, and I
It's too
kept swiping
much.
up there.
It's too much. But you know what? People will die for fame, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now speaking of snitching, let's go on to this young man, Tasha K.
You know what? I need a minute. Cause
What?
you're not about to do this to me right now. Do you see me?
Let me tell you something.
Ah,
If ever someone was an undercover stud, anyways, Tasha K issued an apology to Cardi B after her appeal after her appeal of the $4 million defamation filed against her by Cardi B was denied.
yeah.
She issued a statement. Can we pull up the statement? Whew, can I get through this without
Oh,
laughing? Damn winos, we lost the appeal against Cardi B.
my
Sad
God.
day. But I'm gonna be all right. How?
Yes.
How? I appreciate all your love and support throughout this fight. Today we throw in the white flag. What happened will never happen again. To Cardi and her team, I apologize, sincere. We live and we learn. See y'all Wednesday on YouTube, Tasha K Live. Let me tell you something, and I'm gonna say this because I know Tasha K has loyal fans.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of her work.
Okay.
I stopped watching. I unsubscribed after the Jaguar interview.
I didn't see. Oh, I did. I think I saw a little bit of it, but yeah.
It was so it was so vile in my opinion. And I will say this: Tasha K is not for Black women. I'm go ahead.
So I'm gonna say this. I like Tasha. However, when I first started watching her, I got that vibe as well. I think she kind of interchanges depending on the situation, right? So if there's a situation that she like strongly agrees with when it comes down to women, cool. If not, she'll be like, this B does blah blah blah. So you just never know which way is up when it comes out to Black women. I will say that she does kind of take up more for Black men than Black women. But I watch her work, of course, as an aspiring woman coming up myself and watching Wendy and Tasha, I'm trying to pick and choose what I want to glean from or leave alone. That's all. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I mean, she stands up for men because, you know what? Because, like a true stud. Iyanla talked about it today. A lot of women are walking around with masculine energy. That's what she said on the Breakfast Club. And, I feel like, number one, listen, I know Cardi B is not accepting that apology. She can't.
No, she wants that check. And I don't now that part I don't blame her. Run me my money. You lost.
Run all
that $4 million.
Because you was talking all that big talk. You were talking all that big talk. That big talk. You flew to Africa, hid some of your money. Your husband threw you a lavish African wedding.
Yes.
Okay.
This is what I do. This is what I do need her to do though. Put an LY on that sincerely. I apologize, sincere ma'am. It's an incomplete sentence for me. Okay, let's just move on. Put the LY on there so we can all go to bed happy. Praise the Lord.
She is not interested in being sincerely anything. When I tell you she is uninterested, and I would not be surprised if she took her little tail back, her and her man back to Africa. I didn't say go back to Africa. Let me be clear.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if she went.
She might, she has the money for it. YouTube paid out a lot of money to those people to have all those subscribers, but they're giving us chump change now. That's another story.
But she's still making her money though, and I just don't think she supports Black women. I said what I said over here, and that's just the vibe I get. I
think you're fair in your assessment. I do. I think she interchanges for sure. Yeah,
she does. But one thing she is pro Tasha.
Yes, and pro. Was it Check?
Her husband?
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't even know about that. Not sure about that. Said what I said. Speaking of not being faithful or loyal, escape. Now this one. I forgot about this.
Oh, I love this. I love this picture. Okay, I was like, I gotta go to McDonald's now.
What?
Oh,
first of all, it's the disrespect to McDonald's as if they would hire you. You tried it. You tried it, ma'am. You tried it. At the nerve and the audacity.
She looks good in the McDonald's uniform, though. She looks good. She looks good. Listen, I think she looks good in the McDonald's uniform because if she gotta get that money, my sister said, quiet as a kept, that she gonna have to pick up a couple shifts a day to get.
Wait, and her name is Tasha. So she gonna be at the pull-up window. Welcome to McDonald's. My name is Tasha.
You are messy. I love it. I love it. I love the picture too, by the way. I love it.
I do too. She, you know what? She's not just eating humble pie. She's got a whole humble spread.
Yeah.
A whole humble spread. And I hope she chokes on it. Lord forgive me.
Okay.
Okay. Let's move on to Kandi Burruss and Tamar Braxton. Baby, let me tell you something. I love you, Tamar, but don't you ever get on live or on anybody's live talking about you a bona fide journalist. Not ever. It is the disrespect to Barbara Walters, Oprah Winfrey, Robin Roberts, all the women who are actual Cameron Hall, all of them who are actual journalists. Baby, you hosted a show and a radio show, okay? Howsoever, I still honor her truth because I believe her. Anyways, Tamar, you saw she was on Watch What Happens Live, which I have my opinions about the host of that show also, but that's for another time.
Okay.
And she basically admitted that the person that she was talking about in the past, who basically she claims came at her the wrong way and they got into an altercation, was Kandi Burruss And was Candy Burris and
Todd
Todd.
Tucker.
Um, let's see here. Basically, they got into it because she was asked her opinion about Carlos King stealing the rights to the movie, right? And I listen, which ironically, that's what brought Escape back together. Did you know that?
I did know that part.
Yeah, that's what brought Escape back together. So they really need to thank Carlos King.
Yeah, for trying to steal it, and then they just reclaimed their time. Praise the Lord. And then they got what the first show was in 2017, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. So Candy got wind of it and just basically said, "No, you're not telling the truth. You lying." But the way she said it leads me to believe she did do it. I believe Tamar.
So I'm a Candy fan. However, in this, I've watched Real Housewives since season 1 of Atlanta. Since season 1, I've seen Candy at her best, her worst, when her ex-boyfriend passed away at a club in Atlanta. Okay,
Yes,
the whole 9 yards. Unfortunately, I do believe, and I'm not a Tamar fan. I'm not, but I do believe that they are a hot-headed sort of couple together. He's from New York. She's from which I think they said from some part of Georgia. College Park. Here's the thing. I do believe that there may have been a small altercation. But people like Tamar, who have tissue paper feelings, may take things out of context. A person like me, she couldn't talk to me because my tone in itself might shock some folks, especially in person. So she seems like she might be a person that would get upset if you just say Tamar the wrong way. But do I think that Todd and Candy may have come across a little abrupt? Yes, I do.
I'm gonna say this, and I really had to think about this because I love me some Candy. I love her hustle.
Love Candy.
I love that she took her Babyland voice and did major things with it. You know, I mean, no shame.
She can't sing. I mean, let's be honest.
Okay.
She can't sing. We ain't
Well,
gonna sit here and lie now. We're gonna tell the truth. Now we love her, but she can't sing.
Okay, so let's get into that. So this whole altercation about the Todd and Candy thing turned into an internet beef that I can't even keep up with. They were going back and forth. At some point, Candy. Now here's the thing with Candy also. I love Candy, but I'm trying to figure out why is it everyone has a problem with Candy. This ain't the first person. Nene had a problem with Candy. Latasha. Now, here's the thing with Latasha. You know what, Kwame? Do me a favor. Bring up the picture with Escape and SWB.
Bring up a picture of that check that she didn't, that she cashed with her husband's name on the back and for her sister. Okay.
Listen. Okay, see, this is why I brought up the whole group because we have a lot to cover. Okay. Now, Candy, okay, the ones sitting next, 3 over from your right. Okay, that's Candy. Now, Candy and Latasha ain't liked each other from the beginning, and I want to know why. There is something about Candy, something happened or something. Now, Candy and Tamika were in it for a minute. Now, Candy claims because she lied on her about sleeping around. However, we come to find out that Candy did sleep with Jermaine Dupri.
Right.
Just not the way Tamika said it. Now, keep that in mind. Now, everybody's saying Tamar has tissue paper feelings, but how many times have we seen Candy cry because of the lies?
Well, that season in itself for Real Housewives was iconic. Okay,
it was
because that was an iconic season, iconic 4-part reunion. Okay, I still go back to watch it to see Phaedra shake a little piece because I don't like her.
And let's not forget, Candy recently got into it with Lily, which I don't know what note Lily sings. I feel like she's the hype woman or something.
I don't.
But she got into it with Lily and the other girls because they were arguing over who should headline, and who should get more money and stuff like that. So Tamar clapped back. Let me tell you about Tamar. Say what you want about Tamar, but her clapbacks are iconic. So basically,
don't joke now.
Let me get this out.
Get it out, baby.
So Braxton Tamar, she slid on the Shade Room's post, and she said, what'd she say? She said, imagine having the biggest ego for the most non-singing ass person in the music industry. Stream my new hit Change, where I pay homage to the amazing SWV. Now, here is my thing. I love Candy. I love Tiny. Tasha, she's wearing on my nerves.
We can do a whole show about Latasha.
That's why we gotta have the only two people who ain't bothering nobody is Coco.
Yes.
And the baby sitting down. I can't remember her name.
What baby sitting there? Tiny? Oh, you talking about
Taj.
Tiny.
Taj.
I love Taj.
They ain't bothering nobody. But the rest of them, and they got Lily cussing. I'm gonna say this: Escape is wearing on my nerves, and I feel like they're all the problem at this point. The only one that ain't the problem is Tamika.
Tamika, my heart goes out to her. I've only seen part 1 and 2 of their show right now. I started part 3, but I turned it off. My heart goes out to her because you could tell that there's been years of trauma and neglect on her mother's behalf because of apparently their father. So my heart really goes out to her. She's a sweet young lady, but the rest of the Candy, I think that Candy, even though I love her, I feel like she is very highly controversial. I would know something about that. But a lot of people don't like me, surprisingly. Like you either love me or you love to hate me, right? So I feel like a person that would speak up for herself, and she's also a short woman. So she might have that Napoleon complex. You know what I mean? So it might just be she wants to have her voice to be heard and not looked over, in my opinion. I'm just,
Well, here's Daryl's. Here's what I think everybody needs to do. Let's start over by Tasha. I think Escape needs to dump Tasha for a while.
Yeah.
Just let her go. Let her have her non-anointed, non-fledgling gospel career, and let her tour around the state of Georgia to all the Baptist and Kojic churches. Although I don't think Kojic gonna let her in.
Kojic's not gonna have her. She wear pants.
She wears pants and she's not anointed. I heard that single and that thing was ashier. It was ashy. It was dry. Tamika, here's what I think you need to do. You need to go on and do a gospel album.
Yes.
Release all that pain about your mama and your sister and what they did to you and let it go gold. And that's going to be your payback to Tasha. You don't need her in your life right now. Because in my opinion, Tasha don't love herself. That's what it really is.
Listen, her husband has a hold on her.
Well, listen, she admitted that he comes from the R. Kelly camp. And I'm not saying and here's my thing about that. He may not have done what R. Kelly did, but their business practices were very Chicago thug. So I don't think the apple falls that far from the tree. And honestly, without Tasha, where would Rocky be? What job? What money are you bringing in?
I'm not going to talk about Rocky until I see this Tasha K situation and interviewing the alleged mistress. I want to see that in its entirety and all the 5 years worth of receipts. I'll watch for you. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Candy needs anger management. I didn't realize until now, and I love Candy, but she's a hothead. And here's my thing. She's a Taurus. And can I say this also, just to add on, her being friends with Tiny and Tiny's background, I always feel like birds of a feather flock together. I feel like Candy been to some of the parties. I'm going to leave that alone. SWV, y'all need to keep touring and leave Escape alone. I'm so disappointed in Escape. I am so disappointed in Escape. I did not think it was going to be this bad, but they have disappointed me on a whole nother level. No, don't be sorry, because Tasha, first of all, I feel like she doesn't love herself because she was always the big girl.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She was always she's pretty for a big girl. The big girl can sing. It's not Tamika's fault that she don't have a booty.
You're vegan and you lost a lot of weight. It's okay.
Yay.
You look amazing. So calm down.
But let me tell you something. I don't care how much weight she loses. It ain't gonna give you a #1 album.
She's not anointed.
And that nasty attitude, I don't know how you sing in gospel. Speaking of nasty attitudes, let's move on to before we get to Cora, I want you bring up the picture of the pastor with no face.
Who was who are we looking at, Joe?
You tell me.
Oh, he's in his clergy cloak. Okay.
He's in his clergy cloak.
He's in his casket.
Who is the minister that wears women's clothing with another minister? Tell me.
I can't give you a name, but I will tell you this, because everything here that I'm saying is alleged in this situation.
Allegedly.
I was given some information last July in regards to a very popular bishop in Dallas, Texas.
A very popular bishop in Dallas, Texas. Y'all got that? Take notes.
Right.
Okay.
And it is alleged that this man of God, before he moved from, listen up to the clues, moved from West Virginia to Dallas, he had a friend by the name of, I've never said this publicly, by the name of Paw. And he and Paw would like to dress up together and dance around. That's all I got. I can't say no more. Not publicly, but it is on my Patreon. Praise the Lord.
Okay, can we just laugh though? What would TD Jakes look like in drag, allegedly? You know what TD Jakes would look like in drag?
A whole mess.
Bring up the picture, Kwame. This is what TD Jakes would look like in drag.
Where my bed at? Oh. Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, because he ain't gonna look like Sarah. No.
No.
He gonna look Yeah.
Cora Jakes. Let me tell you something. Okay, can I just say, I'm just gonna say it allegedly,
Sure.
allegedly.
Okay.
Now, y'all who follow me, you know I covered Cora Jakes and all her stuff with the baby Jason and everything. She ain't wrapped too tight, allegedly. I don't know what it is, but bring up the other picture.
Without makeup. That's before the alleged swap and swoop of Jason.
And then I said, well, it got to be another picture. Bring up the other picture.
You are my kind of bestie. That's why I love you.
Okay.
I don't even know what it's giving. I don't even know what it's giving.
It's giving I stole a lady's baby and didn't get caught.
Not yet.
It's given I married a child molester and I'm over the children's ministry, allegedly.
You know what? I'll say this. I think that part right there. I've had the pleasure of talking to both Michelle Loud and Brandon Coleman's mother.
Okay.
Actually, Brandon Coleman's parents. I've spoken to both of them. I've spoken to them on the phone, by text, and on FaceTime. Lovely people.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Kwame, take that picture down. I cannot focus.
Baby, listen. That's why you...
Okay, go ahead. Woo.
No, well, it's a lot. It's a lot. And we are still working on some things behind the scenes. And so just pray for everyone that's involved. But you could put Cora back up.
Let's put a different picture of Cora. Put the red one back up first.
You know,
she did. The thing. Well, allegedly. Okay, let's talk about it. Allegedly, she did.
Yeah.
Allegedly, she and the thing about it is, what's interesting. There's several things interesting about this particular situation, and this is why I saved it for the end. I think she has a some sort of weird obsession with babies.
She does. She has an immense obsession with children. She even on her own like her link joint on her page is like baby baptisms. I'll watch. She was like doing the
Baby
daycare for a
dolls.
long time.
Yeah.
She does that. She also is an internet stalker. My subscribers think that she watches me, that she likes me, she follows me. She has not blocked me, and that is a telltale sign right there, because I am loud and proud about actually siding with Michelle Loud in this. Okay. I would not trust Cora to be within 2,000 feet of my child. She
I
could
was
not come
thinking
around.
the same thing.
She could not.
So here's the thing with the so Cora has two children that are adopted. She is unable to have children allegedly. The youngest son, Jason, according to Michelle Loud, she was in a position where she could use the help for someone to take her son while she got herself together, is from my understanding. Somehow, Cora convinced her to sign over her parental rights. They went through the court system, and that's where it gets.
So let's go back. She has not allegedly adopted either child. So let's go back to when Obama was in office. Allegedly, during that time when the people would come over from Mexico to Texas, as long as they were in a safe house, they could stay and get like a working visa, things of that nature. Allegedly, Bianca's mother was one of those people that they took her allegedly and then sent the mother back to Mexico.
Bring up the
Let's go.
picture with the with the baby. So that one.
The liar.
Oh wow. Why is she posing like that?
Which one, Cora?
Yeah.
I was
And
talking
then
about the child.
Well, why
She
are they
alive
both
too.
posing like they finna do something?
The poor child. Look, if you see pictures of this poor young lady today, she looks like a goth child. She needs deliverance. Okay? She needs to be saved, sanctified with the Holy Ghost, and dipped all over again. Bless her heart. But she's under her mother's care, and she's not wrapped tight at all. And there's voicemails of when she was trying to take herself out of here, the whole 9 yards.
So Cora has been in the mental institution allegedly.
Several times.
So I know you reported that after years of Michelle not seeing her child, Cora, bring up the 3 picture, because I can deal with that one. These other ones are just.
He said, I can't deal.
Who said it was you know what?
The devil's busy.
He's really busy. I'm gonna get to her and her sister. But so she allowed Michelle Loud to FaceTime Jason recently. Is that correct?
That was in November. Michelle has not been able to talk to Jason since November, allegedly.
Here's my thing, and I'm just gonna get it off my chest so I can move on and be free in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's wrapped all the way tight.
She's not.
I think that something happened. And the interesting thing, see, when you said earlier about TD Jakes, so we got the Trinity. 3 men we know who can't be touched is Jamal Bryant, Keon Henderson, and TD Jakes. TD Jakes, because one, I want to know how the gay son is doing. Well, both the gay sons, because I feel like Sarah Jake's son looks like he's a little tender. Can I say tender? But
you can say whatever you want, baby. If he look a little,
listen,
whatever.
These internet streets be canceling people left and right. I just be trying to stay in the arc of safety and
just stay focused on your goal, baby. That's all you gotta worry about. Don't worry about the people.
Look, I done got comfortable. I'm putting on Carmex, but
listen, they should have canceled me a long time ago. That was the case.
So do you know? And I think that I look at how Sarah Jakes is preaching in her platform, and how she's just moving up. Do you think she's jealous? Do you think like there's like sibling? Do you think like Cora feels like the underdog, or I mean, let's be honest.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a twin, so you know, my sister is the background person. I'm the forefront person. I like to be on camera. She doesn't. She's introverted, of course, and
Mhm.
so I can't say. What I will say is this: I feel like um, the bishop may not believe in her gifting or skill as much as Sarah. Sarah has more the influence, the followers, you know, the testimony, etc. Cora doesn't necessarily have that, but I don't like pitting sisters against each other because I'm a twin.
Okay.
But what I will say is, and if she does, she has to work that out on her own. You know, nothing I can do about that. What she needs to focus in on is baby Jason and Michelle Loud, because Michelle's not going to stop talking. And we
Well,
ride hard for Michelle on my channel.
I'm writing hard for her too because
Yeah.
I just believe her. And I honestly I just don't trust Cora. I think she's a wonderful person. She's
Yeah,
doing her
no.
thing. Drink your water, mind your business, exercise. Get it,
Yeah, she
girl.
wants you
Love
to look
all
the
of
other
it.
way so she could do her dirt. That's what she
And,
wants you to do.
and the concerning part about it is the fact that she has the Jake's entity behind her to cover all of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never put her over the children's ministry. Not
No.
by herself.
Well,
Not by
here's the
herself.
so when I first started covering the story, I know we have a few minutes left, but when I first started covering the story back in June of 2022, we would go on to the TPH website. And if you notice, if you go back to any ministry that's there, the ministers' names who head it is listed.
Mm.
On the Destiny's World, it's not listed. Her name is not listed anymore. It's taken off. It's been scrubbed. So it just goes to show you that they know that they are fully aware of the allegations. They're just not willing to come forward and say this is what it is, and it's
They'll
under
never
the
talk about
protection.
it. Yeah.
But a very well-known source has come to me saying that there is speculation of some deeper and deeper situations that are going on and why she's being protected. But I can't say that's too much. That's a whole other conversation for a whole other day.
I will say this as we come to a close. My platform, I've always had the vision to be uplifting and
Yeah.
encouraging. And I'm the type of person, even though I don't go to church, I'm just very sensitive to energy,
Yeah.
spiritual stuff, and certain stories that I cover. Like when I stop covering them, it's just because it's going too deep down the rabbit hole. And as
Hmm.
I was covering Cora Jake's story, there's another nosy bystanders. She
Yeah.
took my story and she did a 12-part,
Yeah.
deep dive. And then as I started doing more research, I'm like, I got this dark feeling. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna leave this alone
It's
because
heavy.
when you start uncovering judges and lawyers and falsified documents and people disappearing, and let's even go this further because Brianna Hudson said it earlier, the accusations of the husband with the child, that's all up in the air too. It just seems like there's a huge machine that's
Yeah.
covering. I will say my gut feeling is I think that Cora is a little dangerous. I don't know how dangerous, but there's something dark and untrustworthy there. There's something that she's hiding that no one there's something there that I can't pinpoint it, but at some point it's all gonna come out. And I'm like, you know what? We just lighthearted over here. I'm Sherry Shepherding over here. Okay,
Right. Right.
we here to laugh, maybe the expose, but I do feel like eventually Cora Jakes, it's all like somebody said, it's going to come to the light.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to be shocked. And I'm going to be very interested to see how the Jakes family handles this.
I know we're getting ready to close, but I will say this: there's a lot that's hidden in plain sight.
Mm,
Okay, it's very heavy. It's to the point where when I've covered it, I've had to decompress afterwards or take
yeah,
days off.
yeah,
Because I'm on the phone for 3, 4, 5 hours at a pop in Texas time.
yeah.
Okay. Um, and yeah, it's a lot that's hidden that will surely come out, hopefully, prayerfully, but I do think that I've had to up my security. I've had
Really?
my family knows where I am at all times. They have my location. I have security system at my apartment now because I saw somebody, outside of my house.
Wow.
Like it's crazy. It's deep. And when you start tap dancing on that thing, they don't like you messing with them, child. So, but I'm built for it tough. So that's why I keep doing what I do.
Okay, well, I want to thank you and let you know you have an open invitation to be on the Daryl Walters Show because
Thank
you have
you.
blessed my life tremendously. As we come to a close, Kwame, we may go over a couple of minutes. Please allow me this time
We
because
love Kwame though. Thank
we
you,
love
Kwame.
him. Thank you, Kwame. Thank you, Pyro Media Network, for being the support that I need to do this show. One, of course, you got to let the people know where to follow you, where they can find you, and do that at the end. But what I want to ask you, as I
Mhm.
ask my guests, um, what would you say to the little girl, to the little Catrice, and to
Oh.
women who are watching who just need to hear a word? What would you say?
I would say to just don't give up. Keep going. Even if it looks small, it can happen. I remember the scripture that says, do not despise the small beginnings. And that scripture sticks with me wherever I go. It's like it's small right now, but it's gonna grow. And so keep going. Don't let anyone to deter you from your goal. If they do, kick them out of your life. You don't need them. You don't need them. All you
You
need
heard
is
it
you and
there.
God. That's it.
I love it. Where can they find you? Where can they follow you?
Man, Cocktail Hour with Catrice on all social media platforms. Cocktail Hour W Catrice on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. I even have a website, cocktailhourwithcatrice.com. That's where they can get me. And my text subscribers, you can text me at cocktails at 833-495-4371. That's
Make sure
it.
you put it in the comments, y'all. Listen, that was more than an amazing show. I am so grateful for all of you who are listening on this journey. I just feel like the Daryl Walters Show, you are at the ground zero of something that I am manifesting that is going to be big. Listen,
I
y'all, I
can't
will see you
wait.
next week. Listen, don't forget to stay hydrated, mind your business, and keep
Yes.
Will Smith's wife's name out your mother. Keep it out your mouth. See y'all next week.
If you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Pyro Media Network's YouTube channel for more awesome content. Plus, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss when we go live or upload new videos. Visit pyromedianetwork.com today, not just to check out our incredible roster of talented creatives, but also to gain access to exclusive bonus material available only to our Pyro fam. Show your support for this Black-owned indie network by donating today. Help us keep igniting brands everywhere.